Healthcare is a scam and I have receipts. I'm basically writing this to try to encourage people to reject the corporate propaganda that is, your real wages are actually X because the company pays healthcare. First of all, insurance as a whole is a scam. The entire point of it is for you to pay it and never use it. Last year, I paid $30 a week out of my paycheck to have health insurance. The 2 times I went to a doctor, insurance covered about 2/3 of my bill. Both bills were less than $200. The money I spent contributing to my portion of my health insurance alone would have covered my total cost of my medical bills for last year. Yes, the cost of medication and medical bills is absolutely absurd, and when you do need something serious done, you would much rather have insurance to cover some majority of the bill. That's a given. But the vast majority of people are out there paying thousands of dollars for healthcare coverage every year and using it to pay for checkups and maintenance prescriptions, especially if they're on the younger side. What does this have to do with work? Corporate propaganda. Companies love to claim that even though they're paying you an hourly wage of X amount per hour, your real wages are X because of things like healthcare. But here's the question you should be asking. If I choose not to have healthcare coverage, will the company pay me the difference in my check? My company recently had union contract negotiations, and as a union steward, I tried to push people toward voting no. The deal, as I saw it, was awful. No wage increases for people in progressions, and it takes almost 4 years to get out of progressions. Shockingly, our union representative pushed this as a good deal because they managed to convince the company not to increase our insurance cost from 17% to 20%. In his mind, this was an epic win and the company couldn't afford wage increases because of the increasing cost of healthcare. The problem is, there are plenty of people working at this factory who either have healthcare coverage provided by their parents, a spouse, or simply elect not to have the benefit. Those people get paid the same as everyone else, despite saving the company tens of thousands of dollars every month. So consider this a PSA. Push back as hard as you can on this concept of corporations paying you higher effective wages by leveraging whatever they claim their healthcare costs are per employee. They're only trying to convince you that you deserve lower wages. We desperately need universal healthcare in the US, but we'll likely never get it without people committing to harass their Congress perps. Not just the insurance. Our entire healthcare system in the US is a huge scam meant to keep people just barely alive and line the pockets of people who profit from medical procedures, devices, and drugs. It's a scam until you have an actual emergency. Then you're f***ed if you don't have it. Especially if you're so injured you can't work, or had a job that required physical activity. Number 1 cause of bankruptcies. https www.debt.org/bankruptcy/statistics/. Yes, we need universal healthcare like every other normal industrialized country. My insurance has a $4,000 deductible. I have a few health conditions that require monitoring. It's quarterly trips to the doctor, labs and prescriptions, most of which I pay for. I've joked with my doctor that my insurance card is basically a "please treat me if I'm in a catastrophic accident" card. The biggest mistake society made was marrying healthcare and profit. Wait till you see the trick where they brag about keeping your monthly premium the same, while not mentioning increasing your out-of-pocket max by thousands. Yeah, I didn't have health insurance until just recently. When I turned 27, it was nice because my company paid 100% of my health insurance payments. Now, not even 6 months later, My company is being acquired by a larger company, and their health insurance that they offer would take nearly $1,000 a month out of my paycheck for just my wife and I. That's nearly half of what I make in a month. So we are going to be without health insurance yet again. You might as well say capitalism is a scam. Any organization that is designed to make profits is ripping someone off. Healthcare is part of capitalism in the US. It's expensive because someone has to make a profit. You don't need to argue about whether premiums or compensation. The real problem is the continued rip-off of labor. This is a global problem. The problem is certainly not those who have their premium paid by a spouse or parent. That's small potatoes compared to the real problem of capitalism systematically stealing from labor. You can argue that healthcare should not be capitalist. But don't argue about someone on their parents' plan or whether a premium is compensation. That misses the whole point. I've said this many times and I just get hysterical bootlickers coming at me defending the insurance racket. I just blocked some woman last week over it who couldn't accept that giving birth should not logically cost $40,000 and that the price is only that high due to the intervention of insurance companies working as a racket so they can make you pay the real price of like $4,000 and then brag how much money they saved you and justify their own existence as a parasite industry. People don't get it even when you explain slowly. They don't want to accept that they've been getting scammed and enjoying the scam. It's easier to lie to someone than convince them they've been lied to. I've been telling my husband that he needs to get his job to pay more since they don't have to provide health insurance, but the job only lasted a month before they decided to let him go. Yeah, they didn't like that he held them to OSHA's safety standards. I have a family member who pays close to $500 a month and still has a $13,000 deductible. She had to have surgeries. The surgeries were less than the $13,000. So not only are they paying $500 a month for insurance, they are now several $1,000s in debt towards medical bills that the insurance that they pay for won't cover. You're paying for your coworkers and their families that need the coverage more than you are using. The guy that needs $40K in meds to stay alive. The mom whose kid needs a transplant and lifelong meds. Isn't insurance as structured like that? My company actually does pay the difference if I don't take health insurance. $1,500 per quarter, but OFCI pay tax on that. In Germany, I pay $5K per year for healthcare. This covers everything. Absolutely everything. Need an ambulance ride, CT, MRI scan, brain surgery, 2 years of physical rehab while giving birth, and a ton of meds? Everything covered. Apart from a €25 deductible for the ambulance ride. Oh, and obviously, if you lose your job you are still covered. It's 1.6K for people with 20K gross salary and scales up to 5K for people with 60K gross salary or more. This sounds fair to me. I will argue with any "your wage is really X" arguments. A couple of times they have also come up with the "well, you get X yearly bonus, so it's like your salary would be Y plus X." My reply was, okay, how about my salary is Y plus X and I get 0 bonus every year if that is the case? Usually gets them all in a scramble. But to agree with you, do not allow a company to use benefits to lowball your salary. Counterpoint. I have a chronic illness. I go to a specialist once a month, minimum, and have to take 4 medications regularly. One of them is $500 per month without insurance. That being said, I would happily switch to universal healthcare and have insurance tied to taxes instead of employment. If you think health insurance is a scam, wait till you learn about homeowners or auto insurance. Pay. Pay for those. And basically never collect. If you enjoyed this video, please check out our playlists full of similar content. Epicaricast is like doom scrolling for your ears. Please like, share, and subscribe.